Hey, welcome back to Single Car Garage. How y'all doing today? Well, we're finishing up prep for the power tour, and we've got a little bit of paint work to do, and that's about it. The clear was coming off this spoiler, so we decided to paint it and re-clear it before we started on the power tour. Of course, it goes on the 01 Mustang. As you all seen in other videos, we put new springs in it, new ball joints. We've checked everything out, so we think we're ready to go. This car has not been on the road for 2 years, but I think we're going to be all right. It's been a good car. Took my daughter through graduate school and through about 4 years of work before we retired it, and it became one of the crew, as we call it here in the garage. But we're about ready to go. AC works. It's going to be 100 degrees on the power tour next week, so this is the first year we've taken a more modern car with AC and everything, so we're pretty doggone happy and look for smooth sailing. And you all can check in every day. We're going to post every day, probably in the mornings from the day before, things we've seen, cars we've seen on the road, cars we see at the power tour, and all that good stuff. So be looking for it every day and see what you see. To prep that spoiler, we sanded it down, sanded all the clear off of it, primered it, sanded it, primered it, sanded it. Now I put the base coat on it, and tomorrow morning I'll put the clear on it and we'll be done, bolted back up. And it'll look better than the rest of the car. The rest of the car is all original paint. It's got 137,000 miles on it, so it's got a few chips, but that blistering clear bothered me. When we get back from the power tour, we're going to take the bumpers off because the bumpers need to be redone and repainted. And the rest of the car, we're going to leave it as a survivor. It's got some nicks here and there, but, you know, it's clean enough. It won't be out in the elements as much anymore. So we're going to leave it as a Mustang 01 GT survivor for the rest of its life. We're excited to get the power tour started. We'll be leaving Sunday. We're going to go down to Edelbrock. They're having a grand open down in Mississippi. We're going to get to see that. And then Monday we'll be in Memphis for the show, and we will, like I said, we will post. This is going to be a fun year. It's the first time that we've traveled together for several years. We decided to travel together because just did not want to spend the money that it was going to take two cars. I think, as I've told you before, this is the car I usually drive, my 66 Impala, and it gets pretty decent gas mileage, but it does not have air, and that was probably the deciding factor this year. That thing's been on about 6 power tours. We've got a 70 GTO that's been on 1 power tour. We've got an 86 Mustang GT that's been on about 7 power tours. And we've got this car right here, 84 Camaro, and it's been on 1 power tour. So, and our green 64 four-wheel drive has been on 1 power tour. So that's our crew that's been on the power tours, and this is going to be the convertible's first power tour this year. Hey, everybody, come back and see me when you get a chance.